Welcome to the hottest grappling show in Arizona. The Valley is home to an amazing grappling community. Join us as we roll through the top jiu-jitsu schools in the state. Our goal? To highlight incredible instructors, their academies, and their amazing journeys through life and jiu-jitsu. It's not the destination, it's the journey that counts. Welcome to Rollin Through the Valley.
Ready, set, combat!
So here, rolling through the valley. Here we are at Ethos Martial Arts. And with me is Wyatt Shepherd. Wyatt, so excited to have you on the show.
Thank you.
And you guys won the Novice Cup last year, right?
Yes.
So about time we get over here.
It's awesome. Good to have you.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm born and raised in Arizona here. I grew up, I was born in Tucson, but I grew up mostly in Payson, Arizona, which is a little bit north of here. But now we're here in the Valley and, you know, the Queen Creek area or Santan area. And yeah, that's
How long have
my
you
background.
been in this space?
So we've been in this space for just a little over a year. We were in another space just over here, a little bit farther, but yeah, so we've been open for a little over 5 years now, but yeah, we're needing to expand again already. Yeah, yep.
Again. So
Yep.
that's a good problem to have.
Good
So,
problem, yes.
Yeah, that's awesome though.
Yes.
Really excited for you and your success. So how did you get into jiu-jitsu?
So, like many others, I had seen some of the earlier UFCs and seen Royce Gracie, and I was just like, man, I want to learn what that guy's doing. That is like super cool. He could beat people, you know, that were much bigger than him, and you know, it was a martial art that was predicated upon, you know, leverages and fulcrums and stuff. And so that's where I really got excited about it. But at that time, there was like hardly anyone to teach, you know, that you could find to teach you Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So. I ended up joining the local judo club instead, you know, because it was the closest thing that I could find to jiu-jitsu. But then later on, my friend introduced me to Gustavo, and that was kind of my forte into actual traditional Brazilian jiu-jitsu training. So
Awesome.
It's really neat.
So you started with judo, then got into jiu-jitsu.
Correct.
And then you also got into MMA.
Yes,
right?
yes. So after judo, I was super interested in wanting to compete in MMA at that point. And so, yes, I basically took my gi off and didn't wear it for 6 years straight and was training MMA. And I actually that was when I opened my own gym in Payson, Arizona at that time, called Pancration Martial Arts. And then I had Gustavo come up for many seminars up to Payson there, and so we were kind of trying to bring Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu up to a small town at that point.
Love it.
Yeah.
What inspired you to teach?
You know, I was always more of wanted to be more of a coach and a teacher, even from the beginning. And so I had coached some youth leagues, soccer and basketball and some different things like that. So I'd already kind of always been in the teaching realm. Right. But I knew I needed the experience to give to my students. So that was mainly why I competed in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and in MMA and all of these different things. So I would be able to know what these, you know, the students were going through. And so, yeah, that's kind of how it all started.
Awesome. Yeah. What does Jiu-Jitsu mean to you, and how does it relate to life?
Oh man, you know, Jiu-Jitsu to me is like we say in training, you know, sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. Yeah. And I think life is a lot like that. You know, some days you're going to have really good days and some days you're going to have really hard days. And I think jiu-jitsu really prepares you for the hard times. You know what I mean? Since I've been training, I can deal with and cope with those harder times so much better than I ever have. You know, and I think jiu-jitsu teaches us, gives us confidence. It builds confidence, but it teaches us that we can do hard things. You know, and so that's what it means to me.
What are your thoughts on competition? Because I know you're an active competitor.
Yes.
You want to get right back into it, you told me before, so.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on competition, and do you think it's for everyone?
I think it's huge. It's I'm a huge believer in competition. I encourage my students to compete a lot. I think it's a huge growth factor. It's, you know, competing is about as close as you can get to a real life, you know, street fight almost. You know what I mean? It's in a controlled environment and everything else, but you get the same type of nerves. You get that adrenaline rush before you compete, and I think that that's a good thing for everyone to feel in case that they really had to use their skills, you know, God forbid, in a real life scenario. And so, yeah, competition to me, I just feel for the overall growth of the students is huge. It teaches you how to set a goal. It teaches you how to, you know, train for that goal. I mean, and I tell my students only positive things come from it. You're gonna, you know, you're gonna train more. You're gonna eat better. You're gonna be in better conditioning. You know, all of these are just byproducts. You know, and what I tell them is even if you train hard and you lose, it's everything that you gained getting prepared for that tournament is huge.
Everything.
It's huge. You know.
Right. Do you have competition classes, or how do you run your classes?
Yeah, so basically we have a, you know, kind of a rotating curriculum with the fundamentals classes and then the all levels classes. We have topics of the month, like this month is escapes encounters, you know, so every month we'll have a different topic that we're kind of working on. But if we do have an upcoming tournament that we have our eyes, you know, our sights set on, then we do kind of, especially on open mat times, we'll have the competitors come in and kind of just work with them specifically, you know, to get them prepared.
And how do you prepare your students mentally for like the big day?
So
and
that's,
the
yeah.
younger ones and the adults, because I know it has to be a little different for both.
It does.
Is it? I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah. No, with the kids, we pretty much are just, you know, like, you know, we want them to have fun, right? We want this to be as good of an experience as we can. And so we always want to assure them that whether they win or lose, we're proud of them, because it's a hard thing to compete, no matter what. There's so many people that won't compete just because of the fear, you know, and for them to just get out there and do it is huge, you know. And so we say, just get out there and have fun and do your best and leave it all on the mat. And even if you lose, we're still proud of you either way. It doesn't matter. The adults is, you know, it's a similar thing with the adults, but I always tell people that, you know, the physical preparation comes first, and then as we get closer and closer to the tournament, that's now mental preparation. And the mental side is actually obviously the most important thing come tournament day. And so I try to prepare them for that, you know, to be, you know, stay strong here. Right. You know, your mind and your body do weird things to you, and you'll try to find excuses or different reasons to not do things or whatever, and you know, be prepared for that, and just tell that little voice to go away, you know, that you're ready to go, you know, so.
Tell us about your very first competition.
Okay, yeah. Well, I remember I either lost my first two or first three matches when I started to compete, and so yeah,
in jiu-jitsu, or
yeah, in jiu-jitsu, yes.
Okay.
That was where I competed first, yeah, it was a little bit of a rough start, but I remember winning finally. I think it was like my third or fourth tournament I entered. I finally won a match, and then I was hooked. I was hooked from there. I loved the. You know, I was a high school athlete, and so the nerves weren't quite as much for me because I had competed and done athletics before, but it was a different type of a rush that you get, you know, when it's just, you know, it's basically like, you know, mano y mano. It's man versus man. It's not my team versus your team now. It's like either I submit you or you submit me. And so it was a little bit of a different type of a rush and a feeling, you know, getting out there. But once I felt it, I was hooked, and I loved it.
How do you prepare yourself mentally, though, for a competition?
Yes. Basically, you know, we've done it so many times now that you kind of have a routine. You know, you're gonna, you know, if you're trying to drop down a little bit in a weight class, you're kind of going through that weight cut, but then the hard days of training and the preparation, you know, your body feels beat up, you know, all of those things. I always tell my students, you know, nobody goes into compete at 100%. We all have, like, you know, we're bruises, we're banged up, you know, or whatever. But again, for me, is a lot of the physical preparation, but then the mental preparation. I just try a lot of positive encouragement to myself, you know, that, you know, you've trained hard, you're prepared for this, you're ready, you've done this before, you know, you have all the skills to win, you know, all of those things, because it's so much easier to let the negative things come in. So I really, really try to stay positive and just give that positive reinforcement to myself.
What is one of the biggest lessons competitions have taught you?
Oh, man. Again, it's just, you know, knowing that you can do hard things, knowing that you're capable of doing something that is very stressful when you're getting prepared for it. But, you know, once it's over, you know, obviously the highs are the highs and the lows are the lows, you know, and when you win, you feel amazing. When you lose, it sucks. But at the same time, you always learn something no matter what. You know, it's like they say, you either win or you learn, you know, and so, you know, that's there, you know, for me, it's just, it's a way to step out of your comfort zone. And I think when we step out of our comfort zones and we do something that's scary and hard, that's where the growth really is found.
So we're going to see you at Arizona Jiu-Jitsu League competing soon, right?
Yes, absolutely.
The next tournament, right?
And maybe the next one. I know my wife has signed up for that one as well right now, but yes, yeah, the Arizona State is our next focus. Yes, yes, please. Yes. But yes, the AZ State June 22nd is the next one that we have on our radar for sure.
What advice would you give your younger self when you first started jiu-jitsu?
Yes, I would say I probably would tell my younger self, be patient, tap early and often, and you won't have as many injuries. That's another one.
Very good.
I was very stubborn when I first started, but now I see the importance of that. But be patient, enjoy the journey. You know, it's kind of cliche, but at the same time, it's you know, just take your time, enjoy jiu-jitsu. Don't chase stripes, don't chase belts. They'll come. You know, that will come over time. But you know, the main thing is you know, set little goals, challenge yourself, and you know, main thing is have fun.
To finish the interview, what are you currently excited about? What's going on at Ethos Martial Arts? Tell us.
Many things. So the kind of what separates Ethos from a regular BJJ academy is we're a full functioning mixed martial arts academy. We do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We have students competing in boxing, kickboxing, mixed martial arts, all of those things. And so you know, we just won a really prestigious amateur belt over the weekend for kickboxing with the PFA. One of our students, Braden Goodwin, he's fighting for the UFL this Saturday as a pro MMA match. Okay. So we have just so many things going on. It's really, really exciting, and just the overall growth. I just feel like martial arts is just on fire right now. It's just booming.
Yeah. Well, where can we find you and the academy? Do you have social media?
Yes, absolutely. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook. Obviously, we have a website. It's ethosmartialartsaz.com that you can go to. Everything's on there, pricing, schedule, everything you need to know. But yeah, we're on all of them.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much,
Thank
Wyatt.
you. Thank you for your time.
Pleasure.